I came in a little bit early, but because I said I was gonna, I just scheduled this for a few minutes out, like 10 minutes out, but I thought I would come in early so I can, since we're talking about diabetes, I wanted to talk about my Keto Mojo meter. I don't have diabetes, but my blood sugar can be a little high, can run a little bit high. So I just want to talk about blood sugar and how to deal with it. I'll just do my test here and see how it is. I like to test my ketones first because I think that's the one that I'm the most curious about. I haven't eaten yet, but I'll be scratching at the bedroom door. I'm gonna let him out here in a minute. Start on this hand. I try to alternate spots on my fingers and I use the outside of the finger instead of the tip, which helps that I don't have a sore spot on the tip. I'm a little dehydrated because it's morning and I haven't drank that much water yet. Just a little bit, and a little bit of sip of coffee is all. Just to taste if I did it right, if I did it the way I wanted it. So this is fasted basically. Ooh, 2.5. That means ketosis. So that means millimoles, and that means I'm in a high state of ketosis. And because I want to use the same spot of blood so I don't have to poke myself again. With blood sugar, you would just, use one strip, but obviously we're doing two different things. So we're doing a ketone strip and excuse my hair. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not good. 147. I do not like that. So I would be in high ketosis, but I think blood sugar counts towards the being in ketosis. So I think the 147 bumps me out. Let me look at my, I'm gonna sync my app with my meter. I almost threw away some perfectly good blood sugar strips because for a ketone strip and a blood sugar strip. There we go. Because I got a couple more ready for next time. Hello. So, excuse my hair, it really is a mess. I'm going to color my hair today and wash it. I froze for a second. So, do excuse my hair. I think I'll stick a hat on it. It's one of those days. It's a hat day for my hair. But I left it dirty because it's better to color your hair dirty than clean. It actually helps the color stay better. So, natural oils, I suppose. Anyway, so my blood sugar done and stuff. And the meter says that I'm in a moderate state of ketosis, which is good. It says 2.5, which normally would be high therapeutic ketosis. But I think because, where's my hat? Oh, shoot. Where did my hat go? There's walnuts in this closet I need to get rid of. That's my gator. Where did my hat go? I have a beanie in here. Oh, gosh. Winter stuff. Earmuffs. Here's a hat. This isn't really what I wanted, but that will work. It's a hat day because my hair is messy. Embarrassingly messy. But I'm going to go ahead and color my hair, so I left it dirty because the color will stay better. So I put electrolytes in my coffee, which makes it, I like it salty. And then I put butter in it, so it tastes kind of like salted caramel. And then I put a little bit of stevia. But today I'm just going to stay in here a short time. If nobody comes in, that's fine. I've got one person in here. They keep popping in and popping out. I'm going to go ahead and chat about blood sugar. Log into my computer because I'm going to do school today. But stop whining at me. And then also I need to let my dogs out. I just let my big dog out, but I'll have to let him out again because he ate after I let him out initially. Here's my coffee. You saw the picture on the thumbnail if you looked at it. And it looked prettier on the thumbnail, but let it sit a few minutes while I did my blood sugar. Hi, 3 people. So I'm just going to talk about blood sugar stuff because I've had blood sugar issues and you may have blood sugar issues and not even realize it. So I wanted to talk about how everyone needs to be cognizant of their blood sugar and their, because a doctor is not even going to tell you that you're pre-diabetic necessarily. And you might not know till you're full-blown diabetic. And then they tell you have to be on insulin and you think that's your only choice and you're going to have to be on insulin the rest of your life. So I wanted to talk about that. Hey, Sammy, how are you? My day's going well. I need to get my sleep dialed in again. I've been going lower on it and I really need to not do that. Trying to see when I can feed my little dog. I'm going to put some food in his dish. But we were going to talk about blood sugar and diabetes. So if you have any comment about that or any struggles with that you have had, go ahead and put it in the chat and we can chat about it. My dog has low thyroid. Speaking of ailments and stuff, you know why dogs get diabetes and low thyroid and stuff? Because we feed them crappy food because they tell us it's fine and we should feed them meat. So I'm transitioning my dogs over to all meat again, but their digestion needs to get. Put my phone on this here for a second. Grab my hands free to get some for my doggy. Get his food ready, even though it's not time. So I gave him his thyroid pill, and he can't eat for an hour. Just like me, I have to take my thyroid medicine and then wait for an hour before I eat. I think the bottle says a half an hour, but somebody told me wait an hour. You don't have what, diabetes? Nice. So she lowered it. So how did she lower it? I think we talked about this. Did she do it through food or did she have to take medicine? My dog thinks he's getting fed right now. I'm just getting his food ready. So anyway, so I'm transitioning my dogs over. My dog also was diagnosed with diabetes, but I switched his food. I switched a kibble that's got higher protein, less carbs, and his blood sugar is now fine. As far as I know, last time he was checked at the vet, he's fine. So, you might consider having, well, looking at your A1C, I guess, that helps. Making sure that your A1C on your blood work is normal. And really normal, not borderline. Now, my blood sugar, and I don't know what's going on exactly, because I ate carefully yesterday. I ate low carb, high fat. I think maybe I ate too much cheese though. That's probably what did it, now that I think about it. My blood sugar, I just checked it. It's later in the morning, so I'm past the dawn effect. I woke up at 5 something rather early, go to the bathroom and never went back to sleep. So I just checked it just now and it was 134. That's a bit much. A bit much. I don't know why my internet's been out. Why is that? Oh, my Wi-Fi's turned off. Last night I did had to do a hotspot. So I'm gonna quit changing the subject, Taylor. Anyway, so with the carnivore diet and with keto, you can reverse diabetes. So how did your mom lower it? How did your mom lower her blood sugar? I'm so curious to know if she just did it with diet, because that's what I recommend. I don't recommend going on medicine and having to be on medicine to control it, because that's not really control. That's like, I can eat this and just up my insulin, and that's really bad for your body, actually. How's your day going, Sammy? And tell me about how your mom did it. Inquiring minds want to know in a good way. My little dog's begging. still has about 20 minutes before he can eat. So that's pretty much the long and the short of my live right now. All I wanted to say was that you can lower your blood sugar because, okay, so let's get into it a little bit deeper. Um, Diabetes is carbohydrate overdose. Yep. So all you have to do is lower the carbohydrates. And also there's something called gluconeogenesis, which is when your body takes protein. If you don't get enough fat because you need fat, either you're going to run on carbohydrates or you're for energy, or you're going to, I'm grabbing my phone cord, or you're going to run on fat. You have to do one or the other. Carbohydrates are not essential to our bodies, but fat is. So, like, think of our brain. Our brain is something like 90%, don't quote me, but it's very high percentage fat. Chuki, stop. And so plug my phone in. There we go. So anyway, Ross, be quiet, baby. Still don't have internet. I'm probably gonna have to set my router. Reset my router. It's asking me for a password. Probably do have to reset my router. Okay. That's making me freeze. So I'm going to reset my router. I have internet on my phone, but I don't have any internet on the computer. I think I need to reset the router because something happened. I don't know what happened. Chook, stop. You're annoying me. You have 15 more minutes. Look at this dog. Look at him. You're a ding dong. He's trying to itch his back on my foot and get my attention because he wants to eat. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so I am about to do my final on nurse delegation on the diabetes section. And gosh, there's so much to it. There's so much complication with, you know, getting the right dose and not getting the, if you get the wrong syringe to use for the medication, of course you get trained by a nurse, so that's not going to be too much of a problem if you follow the nurse's directions. But then there's a mixed dose, and sometimes you have to have two different kinds of insulin and mix them together. It's crazy. So anyway, and you can't like mix the medication in the same, insulin bottle. You have to leave the insulin separate and pull it out from one bottle. And then, I don't know, I'll have to look at that section again to get refamiliarize myself with it. But it seems so just like, ugh, this is crazy. So my client would have to keep all of that straight or else have a nurse come do it, or me as a delegated or a nurse's aide, delegated nurse's aide, nurse delegated nurse's aide. So anyway, that's what I'm in the middle of. I don't have to train for nurse delegation, but I did. And so a lot of it has to do with medication. And personally, I have a website called Keep Me Med Free. And so it's very obvious that, I mean, I want to get free of my medication. I'm still on thyroid and I'm still on some bioidentical hormones, which I'm just doing to try to get my thyroid and my hormones balanced and to feel optimal. I just found a supplement called NAC. It has selenium and molybdenum, if I'm saying it right. It's got a B and a D together. Anyway, so I'm gonna start taking that too. As I have a friend that just shared his testimonial on stop on no carb. What's that channel? Dave Mackie. I can't remember his channel name exactly. It's called No Carb Life or something. Anyway, stop it. My dog is scratching at me. You're not that desperate. Knock it off. Anyway, he said he didn't want to take thyroid, so his doctor kept saying that he needed to be on Synthroid, which is a synthetic, you can tell by the name, synthetic thyroid medication, which I'm on a natural desiccated thyroid called NP, standing for natural, I forget what the P stands for, but anyway, it is from a pig, but the P doesn't stand for pig. So anyway, Sammy must have dropped off because it says there's 0 people here. So, but I'll just talk about this for the replay because this is easier than editing a video. You know what? You're so annoying that I'm going to feed you early, which I shouldn't do because I'm rewarding him for being a poop. Turn. Come on. You're a turkey butt. Eat. Want him to stop whining at me and scratching at my leg. Anyway, now that is taken care of, my desperate little dog. So my vet says that my dog can't be off his thyroid ever, that he's going to have to be on it for the rest of his life. And that's what they say about us. But guess what my friend did? His name is Dave. It's Reed, R-E-I-D, I believe. Anyway, and hey, Robyn, hi. I'm talking about blood sugar, diabetes, and hormones and stuff like that today. How are you? If you can stay for a few minutes, that's fine. If you're just popping in and popping out, that's fine too. I want to talk to you in private at some point because I have some, actually the things I'm talking about today, some strolls that I wondered what your take is on it. So anyway, good, thanks. Yeah, I go live quite often during the day and in the evening. I try to go live every day, but I don't always make it. Yesterday I didn't make it because I felt I was really tired. Okay, I will. Thanks. So what I was saying is my hormones. So Dave Reed was on No Carb Life, if that's the right channel, Dave Mackie, and he was talking about When I find it, I'll put it in the description of this video so you can click over and look at Dave Mackie's channel because it's really good. He has testimonials on there, tons, like constantly, constantly. I've seen 2 already today. So anyway, so Dave takes NAC, it's a mineral combination with molybdenum and selenium added. NAC is a different part of it. But anyway, it helps with the thyroid. So my thyroid panel was wackadoo. Now I need to find out from somebody who knows about thyroid and carnivore because somebody said that because your red blood cells live longer as a carnivore, then it makes your panel, your blood panel, look different. So cool. Hello, pea pals. Hello, hello. Thanks for the wave. Thanks for the hi. I see you. You don't have to say it over and over. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Anyway, so instead of going on this synthetic hormone, the low thyroid, he takes this NAC with molybdenum and selenium, and the brand that he uses is Now Foods. So I went and ordered it, and it's really not that much. It's like 12 bucks, 11 something. And I went and got it on Amazon. So, hey, Adventures with Charlotta. Hello. So we're talking about hormones and diabetes and stuff. I called this live coffee with Cathy because I made my coffee. Okay, here's how I make my coffee. Don't get weirded out, but it's really good. Don't knock it till you try it. I put an egg in the bottom of the cup, a whole raw egg. I whip it with my frother till it gets bubbly. And I put electrolytes in the bottom of the cup too. And I put stevia, a little bit of stevia, but I almost don't need it because the salt, I like the salty flavor. I almost don't need it, which is crazy to me because I like coffee, but I don't like it black. But with the egg and the salt and the butter, I put almost a half a cube of butter in there today. It was yum. I know that sounds weird, but like I say, don't knock it till you try it. I had some already made coffee, so I heated it on the stove and I put the cube of butter in there, or the half a cube of butter, and let it melt. And that in itself is frothy. And then frothed my egg and my electrolytes. And then I use Element electrolytes, or I have some homemade that's patterned after Element. LMNT is the brand. And I heard that Element uses cheaper forms of like the potassium and I think their sodium is okay, but their magnesium and potassium are lower quality, cheaper quality. So I'm going to try next time to add higher quality forms, and I can't remember right now which ones those are. But anyway, I put that in the bottom of my cup, and I also put a teaspoon of vanilla, and vanilla, real vanilla, and vanilla is not carnivore per se, but I just love the flavor, and it makes a really good coffee. So yum yum. So, anyway, if you look at my thumbnail, the froth was super yum, super lovely. And don't knock butter and egg in your coffee till you try it. You gotta try it at least once, but it makes a really good foam. And with the butter, you don't need cream. Sometimes I put a little blurb of heavy cream in with it too. So I like Element too, Robyn. I like the grapefruit salt. Now, I've tried Dr. Berg's. I've tried a couple of different brands. I also tried a couple of different versions of Dr. Berg's because he has a sport version and a couple of different ones. The lemon one tastes really good. It doesn't dissolve as well as Element does. However, I still get leg cramps really badly. So what I did in order to use it up, I called them and I said, "Hey, I can't use this. It doesn't get rid of my leg cramps," which was the whole idea behind using it and rehydrating, and getting my electrolytes right. So I mixed it with the Element or my homemade Element that I made. I have a recipe on my channel. If you look back, I think it says electrolyte recipe on the title. Anyway, it has something like that on the title, but um yeah, so I have the recipe for it, but I'm gonna do a higher quality one with high once I can't stand to throw away the electrolytes that I bought. It's super cheap. Like the batch that I make makes the serving size super cheap, but the I've got large quantities of magnesium and potassium. I ran out of Himalayan pink salt, which was what I was adding to mine. Put it in a blender, whip it up to make it into a powder form like the Element so that it dissolves better. I put it in my Vitamix. If you have a blender, that will work fine. And don't, be careful because super gets super powdery and dusty. Let it settle before you open up the lid of the blender. But anyway, it works really, really well, and I just keep it in a mason jar, and I do 3/4 of a level teaspoon is the same as an Element serving. And Nia's Way is a YouTube channel, and she's where I got this recipe from, and she's super sciencey and researchy and all of that, and she crunched the numbers and the math so that it's like Element, and it works just as well as Element does, and so it's nice to have a homemade version to save money. Element is great, but it does, I know, I love Nia too. So yeah, so it works really well. I was glad I found that. She has a new version of the video, but actually of it's like different math or something. It's kind of the same, but it's anyway, but she maybe I should comment. I'll comment on that new video and say, "Hey, could you crunch the numbers in your description because I couldn't tell what her recipe was as easily as I could in the first video." So I went back to the first video and used her first recipe. That's what I did. In the second video, I think she makes a smaller, I think what it is like a smaller batch or something. Anyway, she crunched the numbers differently is all. She pretty much did the same recipe, just different sizes of batches. And I liked the larger batch, except for I was running low on salt, so I had to cut the batch in half. It's still quite a bit. It's like it was almost a full quart mason jar, excuse me, of large mason jar of electrolytes, which will last me about 3 or 4 months. So it kind of bothers me that the potassium and magnesium are lower quality. I learned that from uh, Stephanie Keto Person, and she's not strict carnivore, but she's almost carnivore. She's pretty much ketovore. But she also knows a lot, like she's super brainiac, researchy, and she knows a lot about some of the pitfalls like gluconeogenesis, which is when protein turns into uh, glucose because you're not getting enough fat, which I touched on earlier. Anyway, so you have to get enough fat for your energy, and then your protein won't turn into glucose. Gotta get enough fat. Heavier on the fat, lighter on the protein. You do have to get enough protein, but really focus on the fat. So that's what I've been doing the last few months. I've also been not tanking up on, but I eat sardines. I ran out, but I have some kipper instead, some kipper fish, because it's easy, it's canned, and I just put it in the fridge and grab one when I'm on my way out the door or wherever, or I just grab one when I need a little bit of fish. I usually eat it as part of my meal. I put some fish on my plate, but especially the sardines work even better. I think I'll cancel my subscription for the kipper and just keep getting the subscription for the sardines. And I get my sardines from Polar. I know brand, and I know people are like, ew, sardines. And I was like, ew, because I got some bad brands. But then I found Polar, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a kind of a firmer, not so fall apart, not so icky. The skin and the bones are in, which, oh my gosh, I'm like, somebody sits there and debones and deskins these little teeny fish. That's crazy. But I like the skin and the bones, and it's good for you to get the whole thing. So anyway, I put a little bit of the fish in every meal or almost every meal. I do 2 meals a day, at least one meal or snack. And the only thing I snack on is um pretty much sardines or maybe pork rinds, but I don't do pork rinds all the time. I found out that one time I had pork rinds and they spiked my blood sugar. I'm like, what? So anyway, my blood sugar is really sensitive, and that's why I'm talking about this topic. And the Keto Mojo has been, I mean, it cost me some money to do because their strips cost $1 a piece, and so it cost me $2 for a ketone and a blood sugar every time I test. And I test 2 to 3 times a day. I'll test in the morning, not always in the morning, later in the morning after the dawn effect, my dog, because your blood sugar automatically goes up. Your hormones raise your blood sugar automatically in the morning because for energy, to wake you up, to actually wake you up in the morning, like a sugar high. So anyway, but it's a natural thing, but you have to wait to do your blood sugar until later. And I woke up at 5:30 and I took my blood sugar at 10 something and right at the beginning of this live actually. And it was 134, which is too high. So I think it was the cheese last night. I really do. I think I ate too much cheese. I had 3 different kinds of cheese, and I had a feeling. I was like, Cathy, you're going a little too much on the cheese. So that's how this diet is. Your body will tell you if something is wrong. And also, if you want to get WTMI about it, I had constipation this morning, a little bit. So that's my warning. The coffee will help, but I don't want to rely on coffee to get me regular. I want to rely on fat. So, but I have plenty of butter in my coffee, which also helps. The other thing I'm going to try, and I don't think Robyn's in here anymore because it says 0 people are in here, but if Robyn watches the replay, I'll link her channel. She's Carnivorous Grandma, GRAMA. I'll link it in the show notes. So she made a dip. I think she made it up with a tablespoon of butter. I use the grass-fed Kirkland, and a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of sour cream. Mix it together, and onion powder. And I don't have any onion powder, but I'm gonna try some garlic powder instead. And then she dips her pork rinds in it. And they have to be clean pork rinds because believe it or not, some pork rinds have wheat. Who ever heard? Like, why would you add wheat to pork rinds? Why don't you just do pork rinds fried in their own fat? I mean, that's like super dumb. So my pork rinds actually have palm sugar. It says no carbs per serving. And I think it's a 2-ounce serving. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't usually eat a lot at once. I am going to make some chicken with pork rinds, but this is the 4505 brand, and I like the plain 4505, but they're not easy to find. So I need to go looking online and see if I can't find 4505 online so I don't have to run all over town to the stores because I live an hour away from the store anyway and to drive around town anyway. So, but I'm gonna make chicken. I don't do chicken very often. I've had chicken like, I think this is maybe the second time I've had chicken in the last year. And I just turned over a year of carnivore on August 20th. But I'm going to make chicken thighs, um, fried chicken thighs in uh, tallow and bacon grease, fried in tallow and bacon grease. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'll put tallow and bacon grease in and I'll put them in the oven. I would do them in the air fryer, but my air fryer is terrible. It smokes terrible. I'm going to see if I can salvage it because I paid almost $400 for that stupid fancy smart oven pro air fryer combination toaster oven, regular oven, does everything. But it smokes. It's like having a barbecue in your kitchen. that just smokes all over my kitchen. It's terrible. Sets the smoke alarm off. The dog is like coughing and sputtering. Dogs are like coughing and sputtering. It's horrible. Anyway, don't recommend it. Don't recommend it. I forget which one it is, but Ferrigno Freedom, Dante Ferrigno, his channel is called Ferrigno Freedom, has an air fryer that he recommends that looks amazing, and it's really not that bad a price. So I'm going to save up the money and get that one. It's crazy though that I have this one and it freaking leaks and they wouldn't take it back. I only used it twice. I tested it twice. I even put a pan to catch the grease in the bottom that it wouldn't hit the element and all of that. It was crazy. So anyway, yeah, I do it in the air fryer, but I can't. So if you have an air fryer, do it. And most air fryers, somehow they work to not smoke in your house. They're amazing. So yeah, love them. I think it's the fan mechanism somehow recirculates the smoke and keeps it from exhausting into your house. I think I'm going to write the Breville Company and say, because I bought it from a reputable store. I'm trying to think what store. I bought it from a chain that carries kitchen stuff, and it was, even though it was $3.99, it was the best price I could find for that particular. It's large, it's very large, and it's all stainless, which that's what I wanted. I didn't want the non-stick because that's bad forever chemicals that get in your body and don't leave, like for years and years and years if they ever do leave. So you don't want non-stick coating sticking on your insides, toxifying your body. Almost done with my coffee, and when I have the last slurp, I'll exit out of here. I haven't had anybody in here, unless it's lying to me, which sometimes it does. Sometimes I've got a person or people in here, and it says 0. But anyway, I've gotten through pretty much what I wanted to say. Look up gluconeogenesis for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Somebody said, "Why would I take your advice? You don't know what you're talking about." And they didn't even know me. They hadn't been on my channel. And I said, why would you just blindly either not follow or follow my advice? Either one, without researching it for yourself. We need to take charge of our health. That's what I did years ago. I decided to take charge of my health. Even as a teenager, I figured out as a junior higher in grade school, I didn't know what was going on and I had migraines constantly. I mean, very often. And I found out later, from blood sugar issues. I didn't know what migraines were. I didn't know why I had to go in a bedroom that was dark and not have any sound, and that everything made me nauseous, and that the only way to feel better was to throw up. And if I waited too long and I was in the middle of a migraine, eating wouldn't make me feel better. Even eating a high protein, I suppose I could have tried to eat high protein, but it didn't feel right. Eating anything would just make me sick. So it was really hard. I don't remember at the time. My mother wasn't big into just popping pills in us, which was good. The only thing that could knock it and keep it at bay was a couple of ibuprofen, but that isn't good for you to do all the time. But if I was starting to get a migraine, that was the only time I'd take a couple ibuprofen, and then it would stop it. But then when I was in junior high, I figured out, oh, I need protein. And I didn't have the fat part. So if I had the fat part, I would have, because I knew that if I ate chips, my friends were like, oh, we'll stop at a convenience store. I'm like, no, because I knew there's pop, there's candy, there's, very little uh, high quality protein. Even jerky has sugar in it. Jerky would have helped, but all the bad ingredients in the jerky don't help, you know. Even uh, the soy sauce and stuff that's in it, or the sugar that they add and stuff like that. Anyway, I should make my own jerky. I haven't done it in a very long time. I used to do it all the time. I have some beef thawed in the fridge. I should cut some of it thin and stick it in my. That would be so good. I should do that. Um, Marinate it in what I marinate, just some salt and garlic, I think. That will be so good. I'll do that. Yay. I need to learn how to make pemmican. I need to make pemmican. I've seen the recipes for it. It's really not that hard. It's ground beef. It might cause a histamine reaction, but I don't usually get histamine reactions anymore. At first with carnivore, I was getting histamine reactions because your body tells you when it doesn't like something. And lemon caused histamine reactions. Even aged meat caused histamine reactions. Uh, Bone broth caused histamine reactions because of the aging process. And I listened to somebody, she was carnivore. She was gonna stop being carnivore because this girl, she can't eat hardly anything because she has histamine reactions. She loves picanha, but if she ages it at all, if she leaves it out on the counter at all, if it's not really, really, really fresh, she'll get histamine reactions. And that's just a really sensitive system. Now, I think that now my testimony is that I was super unhealthy from the time I was a child. I was 3 months premature. Probably my gut was messed up from the beginning. I had too much antibiotics as a child. I had mono when I was 10. My uh, my my glands, I could feel them still, even though, you know, actually I forget what that test is, but there's a blood test that tests your um, viral load, and my viral load was good. It wasn't bad last time. I need to do my tests again, my lab tests again, because I'm on a thyroid, trying to heal my thyroid, and I'm with a program for healing it, a 4-month program for healing my thyroid. And I got to do my lab work again. Um, anyway, so so I wasn't a healthy child. Even though my mother was pretty good. I mean, we did eat grains and stuff, and we had homemade meals the majority of the time. Once in a while, we'd have pot pies or something like that for dinner or something. But we always had something with it, like a salad or whatever. I know that carnivore is, ditch the veg, ditch the veg because That's carbs and oxalates. If you don't know what oxalates are, go ahead and do your research too, because I talk a lot about it on my channel, but I don't have time to go into it right now. Anyway, I just drank the last swallow of my coffee, which is my signal. That was a large cup of coffee. See? That's how big I normally do. I do this cup of coffee, and then I don't do it every day, and I don't drink another one. So that's all. Just that. And it has a lot of other things in it besides coffee. So the other thing I put in it that I don't have, that I just ordered today, is collagen, pure beef collagen powder. And I do like pure beef collagen powder in my coffee. It's really good. It's really good for you. Just gives you another batch of protein, you know? It's good. My coffee, my coffee is a meal. It's good. Sometimes I have a little bit of food with it, but a lot of times I just do that, and that's usually I do have to kind of have a snack or something a little bit with it or just a little bit later. Um, and then I have another regular meal in the afternoon or evening, depending on when I get hungry. But anyway, so I was bedridden by the time I got into my 30s. I had my daughter. I had Natalie when I was 30. That's my oldest. She's 31 now. I'm 61. So I had her when I was 30. I had my son when I was 33. And my last youngest I had at 35. I believe that's the right breakdown. And so, anyway, by the time I was 35, maybe even, yeah, by the time I was 35, I was sick. I was tired. I had mono. My mom was always taking me to the doctor, even before the mono, for being tired. She's like, doctor, she's tired, like all the time. Tired, tired, tired. And I wasn't just being lazy, I was tired. And then when I got mono, it was insane. School changed to a full day, and it was too much for me. I couldn't do it. I came home from school, plopped down in a beanbag chair in front of the TV, didn't even watch the TV hardly, just fell asleep. And then I would sleep until dinner. My mother would barely get me awake enough to eat, and then I'd go back to bed. And that's when I had mono. I was in the first stages of mono, and I had mono from the worst part of it. The worst part of it hit, I remember that Christmas and Thanksgiving through the holidays. So I had mono so obviously, like, you got school starting in September, October, so 2 months, and then by November, I was full blown mono. And um, then I had it through my birthday in January. So December, November, like, I don't know. Like I say, I was full blown mono. I remember at Christmas, carolers, my friends, came over Christmas caroling, and I was in my robe, and my snot was all kinds of pretty colors, yellow and green, and yeah, it was awful. It was awful. And anyway, so it was rough, and even still, my glands hurt. And I think I have always believed that that was caused from, I don't know, that my immune system never fully bounced back. Even though my viral load, my immune system seems to be as best as it can be. Come here, come here. Actually, pretty good. Come here, come on. Let's go in the bedroom. Let's go in the bedroom. You don't need to bark at them. Okay? My housemates are either coming or going. He doesn't need to be barking. So anyway, my I thought I would share my story because a lot of you don't know it. And maybe it'll be helpful to somebody who is new to the channel and also my regulars to know, that it's really important to balance your blood sugar. It's really important to give your immune system what it needs to be healthy. So by the time I was 35, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was basically bedridden. Like, I could get up to go to the bathroom. I didn't have enough energy to take care of my small children. It was a nightmare. It really, really was. My young oldest was happy as a clam, taking care of the dishes and the house and the littles. She took care, and I've asked them as adults, didn't that hurt you? Like I had two really responsible girls. I mean, Natalie, my oldest, got into a lot of trouble as a teenager. And probably it was a lot of the things that happened because my son has special needs, and on top of all of what I need to swap out an earbud for sound because my sound is better with my earbud hooked in. For the mic, let me see. Where is my earbud? Oh, here it is. Okay. Thought maybe I unplugged it from the. Anyway, so there we go. This one back into charge. I love this brand of earbuds. I have no affiliation. I don't have an affiliate account with them. It's Raycon. Here, I'll show you. This is the sport one. And I'll show you the case. So I just use one at a time because I like to leave one ear open, but that's Raycon. And they're water resistant. They're comfortable except for the left one. I don't know why. They have different sized, and I've tried different sizes. And the left one, my ear hurts if I put it directly in my ear. So I kind of put it off to the side so it's not hurting. So I like the right one better. Anyway, that was a side note. That was a tangent. So, so she, my oldest, was taking care of the younger two, plus my youngest was very independent at a young age. My son was a handful. Love him, okay? But he was a handful. He was just struggling in school. I also did some school with him, even though I had health problems. I did some school stuff at home. That's the only way he got through school because you know, um, I knew that he was able to do things that the teachers said he could not do. Like they kept him back in kindergarten, which I didn't necessarily disagree with, but it made me sad. They said he didn't know his letters and that he couldn't spell and that his math, all that stuff. Well, he can do math in his head, like he's really good at mental math, not necessarily the higher, uh, operations, but, you know, plusing, minusing, and he's super good at spelling and he's really good at geography. Anyway, he has some really good strengths and some deficits within his brain and anxiety, and I wish he would go carnivore. I'm certain that his blood sugar is off most of the time. I'd really like to get him testing. I think I'll go ahead and that's what I'll do. If he's willing to do it, I'll go ahead and get him a keto mojo, and then he'll know that his blood sugar is off and that he can fix it if he eats protein and fat. So I'll see if I can. He doesn't qualify for a caregiver, but maybe I'll talk to the adult family home and also his caseworker. It's really frustrating because I know he could get better results and stuff, and he wouldn't have the fear and the anxiety if his body wasn't in such sad shape. And he's convinced that, well, I don't need to lose weight because he doesn't. He's super skinny. He needs to gain weight, but carnivore would help him gain weight and gain muscle and get, he really needs to exercise, do strength training, get back into basketball again. He's so good at basketball. Anyway, so that's my background is that I was practically bedridden. I was in bed most of the day. I was so tired. And I told my mom one time, I said, I'm so exhausted that I feel like I'm just going to fall asleep and not wake up, that I'll just die. It was so hard. And it was so frustrating because I wanted to be with my kids. I knew my son needed me. I knew my daughters needed me. Um, I had a lot of trouble with my temper. And um, I just, I wish I would have found carnivore sooner. But I did know that I needed protein. I knew that piece because I figured that out early on when I was a teenager. I figured out that if I caved and bought some crap thing, like, because sometimes that's all that's in the store, especially if you go in a convenience store, it's practically all that's there. Or if there is protein, it has a lot of carbs with it, like bread and ketchup, and I love sauce. I love sauce. That's my weakness. Mayonnaise and ketchup mixed together was my jam. So now I have sour cream a little bit to dip in, and mustard, which I do like, especially Dijon. I need to get some Dijon, but I need to find a clean brand that doesn't have other things in it like sugar. Anyway, so this has been good. I haven't had a lot of people in here, but I did have Robyn Herron in here, which is awesome. Don't forget, Carnivorous Grandma. Um, go to her channel, give her some love. Nia's Way, find her channel. Zero Carb Life, if I get his channel name right. Can't I don't know why I can't. Or it's No Carb Life, something like that. So I think if you look up Dave Mackie, and I think it's Macki, I believe that's how you spell his name. Anyway, I was thinking about doing my testimonial with him because he does interviews all the time of people's testimony. But I feel like there's some things that are just not fixed yet. My energy level and my sleep really need to be dialed in. And I've been working on it. I'm not sure about my blood work. Everything's good except my hormone panel and my thyroid especially. But I'm gonna see what happens if I take this NAC and start the NAC supplement. Capital N A, capital C. Um, yeah. So I'll show it to you when I get it. But it has the selenium and the molybdenum, and as I said, and it helps balance your thyroid. You need selenium, you need iodine, you need, oh, and I'm gonna take, I just got iodine too. I ordered iodine, beef collagen, in the NAC this morning. And I'm gonna call Dave, the one that had his testimonial, Dave Reed, because I have his number. We met at KetoCon, Hack Your Health, a few months ago, and I'm gonna talk to him about my situation and see if he's got any ideas too. Because it sounds like he had similar. I didn't have the obesity issue so much. I did gain weight and I was going up, and uh, it got worrisome because I was only 5'4", and I'm like 5'4", and I'm creeping up to 160. I know that doesn't sound very high, but for me it was. And I hadn't had problems with weight before so much, but I was skinny fat. I don't know what my BMI, my body fat was. Oh, I need to weigh myself today because I have a body composition scale. So the only thing I'm really looking at is the fat and the muscle at this point on the body composition. I'm not looking as much at the weight, except for my weight is trending down to 130 is the lowest that I've been in years. And so that's cool. I'll go up or down a few pounds here and there. And the lowest has been 130. Yesterday I was at 130. So anyway, but like I say, I'm mostly looking at my bone density is super high, which is really nice. That is super good. And I attribute that to carnivore. That means that I'm not gonna have a broken bone so easily, which is so nice. Getting older. Um, anyway, I am looking forward to getting younger and younger in my biological age because of carnivore, you know? And I do believe that in a lot of ways, my muscles and my body fat. So my body fat is at 27%, and it was at 39%, according to my DEXA scan, which is that, really accurate full body scan that they do. And it comes back with all your, um, sometime I'll share the lab work of that, of the DEXA scan. Um, anyway, about ready to do my blood work again too. And I'll share where my labs are at this point. So now that I have been in ketosis a lot more often because I've been testing it with the Keto Mojo, I'm looking forward to seeing. And I also think that not being in ketosis, being in too much gluconeogenesis with too high a protein and not enough fat, I think it was aging me. Um, Yeah, I think it was aging me. I think my hair wasn't in as good as condition. I still think my hair could be better. My energy level could still be better, but I'm just working on that sleep piece. Um, if I didn't have to get up so dang early to go potty, usually it's not until 5:30 or 6, which is nice because it used to be middle of the night I'd have to get up. Now I don't so much, unless it's right around the time that I go to sleep. Then I might have to. And I just need to stop drinking water, drink my electrolytes earlier on, like 5 o'clock at night, and then be done. And just maybe sip on water from, after that. I have a tendency, though, to drink quite a bit of water. I do get thirsty, but anyway, I'm working on not being pre-diabetic. How about that? And I'm working on not being so, because mine will go low and high. But I don't like that it was 134 this morning. So I'm going to go easy on the cheese. I think maybe I need to stick my cheese in the freezer. Then I'll just eat it very occasionally, you know what I'm saying? So, um, I will talk to you later. It's been approximately an hour and 15 minutes that I've been on here. Oh, yeah, it says almost 80 minutes. That's an hour and 20, right? So I will chat to you later. I'm planning on being on around 5 o'clock after I get my dogs taken care of, some house. Well, I might go on while I'm house cleaning, but I'm gonna do school right now. I got some prayer time in the Bible. Um, that's good. That's another habit I'm working on. But I hope this was helpful about the blood sugar. I hope it helped you. I do like the Keto Mojo. It does cost me about 60, just under $60 every 3 weeks to a month for the test strips. It's kind of annoying that insurance doesn't pay for that, but I haven't been diagnosed And I don't know that they would do, maybe I'll see what Dr. Boz's program costs because she does ketone testing and blood sugar. She does continuous blood sugar, uh, you know, G CGM. Um, anyway, so I could see, I know it comes out of your own pocket if you're not diagnosed, but I think through her you can get a deal on the um, CGM. I don't know if I want to do the CGM though, because at night it can wake you up. Oh, I don't know if I want to be woke up at night with my blood sugar going up because it does kind of automatically go up just for the dawn effect. But anyway, that's what's going on. That's what I'm thinking about. And we shall see what my lab work shows in a few weeks. I'll probably have the results back. I should have done the lab work already because my insurance will pay for it. It should pay for it. I hope it will, doing it more often. I need to fix my hormones, you know what I mean? So I am going to talk to some people because the red blood cells living longer could be contributing. I heard from somebody on YouTube that's carnivore that said that your labs can look, your thyroid can look low even though it's fine. And one of the reasons is the bell curve for all of the lab work is set for people who are not healthy. And it's not set for red blood cells that live longer because they, you know, then you're, anyway. And do not let them put you on, um, why can't I think of it? Statin. Don't let them put you on a statin for your cholesterol. My recommendation, eat lots of fat, animal fat, not seed oils, not seed oils. Seed oils are poison, and so are carbs, even vegetable and fruit carbs, because there's plant toxins and oxalates and all of those things. Just do your research. Don't take my word for it. I'm not telling you what to do. Just do your research because you have a responsibility to your own body to do what's right for your body. And if your body is being poisoned with carbohydrate overdose or oxalates or anything else, you need to know. There's a book called um, Toxic Superfoods by Sally K. Norton, and she is a researcher um, on oxalates, foremost researcher on oxalates. And there's a list from her website of high, medium, and low oxalate foods. You can keep the low oxalates in so that your body, hey, drowsy doll, I was just about to go, but I'm going to come back on later. I'm going to do some schoolwork. I'm doing really well with school. I did get on and finally my internet was out, but I made my phone a hotspot and I got on the computer and I'm going to do that again and get on there and take my final for diabetes. So we've been talking about diabetes. So if you would go ahead and watch the replay. Um, it's valuable information, in my opinion, about hormones, just my also story. about how I got to carnivore finally and how the issues that I had health-wise when I was younger and when I was in my 30s and 35 and I didn't even talk about menopause, but that was a thing too. My sleep, I didn't talk about my sleep. Sometime I'll talk about my sleep. Thank you, Drowsy Doll. I really appreciate you so much. I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. I could go on and on and on, obviously. It's very apparent. I sing the praises of carnivore because it's saving my keister. I'm telling you. Yep, yep. It's helping me. My blood sugar has been a lot more stable. Today was a high blood sugar this morning, but I really do think it was the cheese. And that's the thing about elimination diets, and especially carnivore. Your body will tell you, don't eat that. Your blood sugar will tell you, will tell on you, your body's responses to foods. Eat something and see how it makes you feel. That's what I learned as a child because of the migraines. I learned it as a child. Eat something, one thing, not a whole bunch of things, not a casserole with a whole bunch of different ingredients. Eat one separate food and see how your body responds. So do that, you know? Eat bacon or pork with no seasoning or something, you know? So that if you know that salt obviously doesn't bother you, like a good quality salt, put a little salt on it and see how you feel. Now, bacon, if it doesn't have sugar in it, I do fine with. Some people can't do bacon. So, you know, there are uncured bacon, which can be better. I think I do a no sugar uncured. I think that's what, anyway, it's super thick cut and it's from Costco and it says no sugar in big letters on the front of the bacon. I can't remember the brand. But anyway, it's great. So, anyway, that's what my recommendations are because that's what my journey has been. And the naysayers and the critics, um, I'm not going to listen to and pay credence to because I know what my story is. I know what my journey has been. I know that I feel better. I know there's still things that are healing. I know that my sleep could be better and my energy level could be better, but I'm exercising again. I feel better than I did. I'm not in bed all the time. Some days I'm super motivated. I get glimpses of what's coming because I'm doing this. So I just need to, uh, yeah, get, the support that I need, keep the support that I need, uh, and do what I thought about priming, which means eat 3 meals a day, carnivore meals a day with lots of fat, and see if I'm malnourished because of how I ate before. Because I ate vegan before and then added uh, keto vegan and then uh, a little bit of meat and keto and then keto with lots of meat but probably not enough fat as I recall. And then I went carnivore. So anyway, priming could be a thing. And personally, I would use the scale as a gauge. not necessarily to lose weight, but just to keep track because it helps me to know where I'm at. And yeah, so I probably, if I did priming, I'd cut out the dairy while I primed. And I might cut out egg whites. I probably do egg yolks. Egg yolks, beef, sardines. I'd leave the sardines in because they help my blood sugar. And I would definitely keeping track of my blood sugar. Anyway, bye. Love y'all. Thanks for showing up and do watch the replay. I will chat with you later. Bye bye.